To run. The act of going quickly by moving the legs at a pace faster than a walk. We run for different reasons. For sport. For peace of mind. For survival. Marquise Goodwin has been running his whole life. It's taken him to the Olympics, to the fourth fastest 40 time at the Combine since 2003. Running is a metaphor often used in stories, with the main character running to, or in many cases, running away from something. For Goodwin, it's not what he's running to, or what he's running from. The very fact that he's still running at all. That's the story here.
We're going to start at the very beginning, right? So what was it like growing up? What was your childhood like?
Childhood, for me, kind of hard to put into words. I had to grow up really fast. Taking care of my sisters, trying to find a way to bring revenue into the house, to help my mom, single parent, 4 kids, having to be the eyes, the muscle of the house, and a lot of decisions that I had to make at a young age.
Where was your biological dad?
He lived in Lubbock, Texas at the time. We didn't spend much time growing up with him. Never was at a football game, a track meet, graduation, a birthday party. Yeah, he was never around.
Marquise helped fill that void in his life by finding a vital outlet.
He was 5 when I first noticed that he really could run. He was running against 9-year-olds in our apartment complex. No shirt on, little shorts. Took his shoes off, running barefooted. And I was like, what? These kids are like twice your size. And he just dusted them.
Running brought Marquise joy, but he was fueled by something deeper.
Here I am, one of the fastest kids in my neighborhood, and my sister in the same home has never walked a day in her life.
His sister Deja suffers from cerebral palsy.
So it puts perspective on things and how I viewed things coming up. That's why I've always appreciated being able to run.
He developed my hand well, because he helped me. He used to feed me all the time, bathe me, change my diaper, all that.
When it comes to fatherhood, I think that I'm one step ahead because I've been a parent since 1991.
So you're her brother, but you assumed somewhat of a parental role with her.
I have and still do take care of her financially, physically. Anything you can think of that you have to do for somebody that can't do for themselves, I do that for my sister. And not because I have to or I feel obligated to, but more so because she can't do it for herself. And if I were in the same position, I know she would do that for me.
While Marquise was raising his sister, he was also raising hell on the football field and track, earning a scholarship to the University of Texas. It was here where his running led to something unexpected.
Your wife. Let's talk about Morgan. When did you guys meet?
We met the second semester of her freshman year, the winter of 2012.
Okay, so love at first sight?
Not quite.
I was on a track scholarship, so we were at Texas A&M for a track meet, and a guy from the LSU team, which is one of Marquise's friends, went to my teammate and was like, hey, what's this girl's name? So she ended up calling Marquise and was like, oh, that's Morgan. He's like, tell her to hit me up. So he asked me out. We stopped by his house first, and his mom was there. And I'm like, I know this fool did not just bring me to meet his mom, and we not even dating. We like, you know, we like each other at this point, but it's like, wait a minute. Like, you trying to marry me?
It was just casual, nothing serious, and she spent too much time with me. She got the feeling me, you know?
His attitude, his mindset, he was always a go-getter. You couldn't tell him nothing. That was very attractive to me. He was like outgoing, funny, he was a jokester. I loved everything about him. And that's what made me fall in love with him.
Morgan also fell for something else about Marquise, his relationship with Deja.
They have a really strong relationship. She has her own personality. It's crazy. Just the other day, she's like, tell Pookie to come in here and give me a kiss. I'm like, girl, don't be taking my kiss from my man. And she like busts out laughing.
I tell her he was mine before he was hers.
Marquise and Morgan's love blossomed, and after a trip to London, where he competed in the 30th Olympiad, Marquise raced to the inevitable next step.
For richer?
For richer?
For poor?
For poor.
For richer?
For richer?
For poor. If you lose your job,
If you lose your
I got you, baby.
I got you.
Yeah, okay, in sickness and in health.
You get married in 2016. How important was it for the two of you to start a family?
Very important for us to start a family.
Morgan has been pregnant 2 times.
First pregnancy is kind of a bittersweet moment. Definitely weren't ready for kids at that time, and it was before we got married. We were engaged in college. We ended up losing the baby at 8 weeks and 5 days. Second pregnancy, very different.
I found out 2 days before my 24th birthday. Every day went by so slow. 8 weeks hit, I'm nervous wreck. I get my first ultrasound, baby's heartbeat there. I make it to 12 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I was really afraid of 10 weeks because I seen that a lot of women were losing their babies after 10 weeks. And then we get to 19 weeks and I'm going for my first anatomy scan to actually see if all my baby's parts are there, hands, feet, heart, brain, everything looks right.
But everything wasn't great.
They get to the end where they check my cervix. That's when we found out that I had incompetent cervix.
An incompetent cervix is a prenatal condition that affects 1 in 100 pregnancies and can lead to late-term miscarriage or premature birth.
At that point, they were like, you only have 0.8 centimeters of a cervix left. Like, there's a 50-50 chance you can go on with this pregnancy or you're gonna lose it. So at this point, I'm like, I'm blessed. The Lord's got my back. Like, nothing's gonna go wrong. Everything's gonna be all right.
Marquise and Morgan stayed positive and focused on parenthood. That positive energy found its way into Marquise's play with the 49ers, resulting in a breakout season.
Goodwin makes a great catch. Marquise Goodwin got the party started.
What attracted us to him was his speed. But we thought he could do more. He was just waiting for another chance or an opportunity to get other routes. He went from a speed receiver to an all-around receiver.
When guys started going down, we really leaned on Marquise, and when we leaned on him, that's when he shined.
Marquise Goodwin with a spectacular catch.
November 11th, getting ready to go to the hotel, same routine that we do every week, home game, and my wife told me, hey, will you come to the bathroom with me? I feel like I don't feel good about it, like something bad is gonna happen. I could see the panic in her face. I looked, and basically I could see the sac from the baby protruding out of my wife. And she's like, I can't move, I don't know what to do. Call the ambulance right now.
We get to the hospital. That's when they're like, your sac is literally out of your cervix and out into this air. You're going to catch an infection. We have to deliver the baby. The baby was alive all the way up until I had to deliver, because once the baby was gone from me and detached from me, the baby was not going to be alive because they had to stop the pregnancy.
The baby just came out with little push. I did not expect it to be a full baby, like a baby that I could hold in my hands. Like, I think for me, the hardest part was just seeing the pain that she felt from having to deal with something like that.
We were fortunate enough for the hospital to actually allow us to keep our baby as long as we wanted to. So I kept our baby overnight. Well, basically that morning. They took him back to get him dressed and then brought him back.
We have a convo, and I'm like, I'm staying here. It's like, I'm not playing in the game. Because I felt like I needed to be there with her. I didn't want to be like my dad. I needed to be there for my wife at that point in time. And so when she told me to go to the game, it was like, you want me to go to the game? She's like, yeah. you need to go.
It was important for me because his son would be able to watch him play. And I'm like, me and your son, we're watching you. You gotta go out there. He didn't want to. He kept calling me like, babe, I don't know if I can do this.
I go over to the stadium pretty early on game days. I get over there about 7:30, and I remember getting a call right when I got there. Marquise came in, spent some time with him to see where he was at, and he was hurting, as expected. I told him how much we'd like him out there, but I told him how much we will all totally understand if he's not. And then it was about an hour before kickoff, he let us know he was going.
3rd and 8 from the 17. Beathard back to throw.
Wide open for the speedster, Goodwin. And Goodwin is gone. A 49er touchdown.
Keith ran a perfect route. I remember it was just running down the sideline. Trent Taylor was right behind me, and we just kind of looked at each other like, oh my goodness, you know, like, I cannot believe this just happened. And it was special. It was something I'll never forget.
First thing I thought was we're going to get a delay of game, and I'm okay with it, because I knew when he caught that touchdown how much it was going to mean to him, and I knew the whole team knew also. There's so much pressure in an NFL game anyways, and to catch that deep of a ball and beat that type of corner with all that stuff that's in his mind, I would have understood if he dropped it.
That was my first touchdown of the whole year in the regular season. We hadn't won a game up to that point.
The team won for the first time. I said, that was God right there.
Our family, guys, and our guy here experienced some pain here in the last 24 hours, but he came out, balled out for us. We appreciate that. We love you, man. Love you,
We had our baby cremated. He sits right on the side of my bed. I kiss him all the time, talk to him. I know he's watching in heaven, so he's there always.
Inspired by all he's had and lost, those closest to Marquise know what kind of father he will be, the kind he's already been.
Great one. He's great to me.
He's an amazing son. He's an amazing brother. So I know he'll be an amazing father.
Our son was going to be a junior. Unfortunately, we lost the baby, so we didn't name him. We just continued to call him Baby Goodwin. Our first living son will be a junior. Marquise Jr.
I know I will be the best father in the world. And I think that starts with just being around. It just haven't happened for whatever reason, but I know God has plans for us in the near future.
And with Morgan by his side, Marquise Goodwin continues to do what he does best. He runs for himself and for something much greater.